Hey y'all. All right, so Kristy Noem's husband got the big old you know what's, okay? He got the big old chi-chis on deck, and I definitely want to talk about this and report on it and laugh on it. Thank y'all for being so graceful with me. I have not gotten a lot of sleep this week, but today I'm feeling a little bit better. So I'm gonna try to pump out some videos tonight for the Stark Effect podcast on TikTok. Anyways, Byron Nome, Kristy Noem's husband, was exposed by the Daily Mail, which is a very popular tabloid. You know, I know a lot of people might feel how they feel about the Daily Mail, but, you know, in this case, I feel like the Daily Mail is getting their props. You know, Mr. Byron Nome, who is the husband of Mrs. Kristy Noem. Now we all know Kristy Noem was recently let go as the DHS secretary for her doings with the ICE situation. You know, her not listening, her not following proper protocols, and having everything just be really really wild and harmful to this country. So before I get into the report, for people in this country, especially immigrants and brown people and Latinos, okay, before I get into this report, I want to give my reaction when this came out. When I tell y'all, I was cackling. And this is journalist hat off. I'm not being objective. I'm going to be biased because I was cackling. I was. I was laughing because the thing about it is that these people preach about being so conservative and how they just have conservative American values and ho ho ho. You know, I'm just the perfect American, right? And so it's just fascinating how men, these Caucasian men, these MAGA, these Republican men, they have fetishes. They're gay. They're down low. They're cross dressers. They like to sleep with transsexuals and dolls and women of the night and men of the night too. Okay? And it's just it's so funny how they preach about all of these things, but behind closed doors, they are some gutter butt nasty freaky deaky leaks at night. All right, so let's go ahead and let's get into this. So I'm not going to be reading off of the Daily Mail article. I'm going to be reading from USA Today because USA Today broke it down. So the headline from USA Today, it's not up here, you guys, but I'm reading it here. The headline says Brian Noem. I think I said Byron earlier, child. Apologies for that. Now my journalist hat is on. I thought it was Byron. Brian Noem. See, he kind of spelled Brian like a black man. He spells it Bryon. I was like, honey, isn't Brian with an A? See? You see how we catching y'all? I thought it was Byron. Okay, Brian Noem, Kristy Noem, and a tabloid investigation explained. That's the headline. This article was written by Kate Perez from USA Today here. So, Brian Noem, the husband of former Department of Homeland Security Secretary and South Dakota Governor Kristy Noem, is trending online after a tabloid published an investigation saying he lives a quote-unquote secret double life. The Daily Mail reported that Brian Noem practices cross-dressing. The report has not been independently verified by USA Today, but here is what they know so far. Brian Noem is married to Kristy Noem. Let's see. She was let go from her role as DHS Secretary, like I said, on March 5th. Last month, and later named special envoy to a new Shield of the Americas initiative promoting Trump administration security policies in the Western Hemisphere. The couple married in 1992 in Watertown, South Dakota, and have 3 children together. I'm not going to name their children's names, but outside of family life, Brian Noem works in insurance and holds a degree in business and finance from Northern State University. He coached basketball and worked on the Noem family farm after graduating and before becoming an insurance agent. How juicy. Next section here, it says, what did the Daily Mail report about Brian Noem? So the Daily Mail reported on March 31st that Brian Noem paid adult entertainers, aka sex workers, and cross-dressed while role-playing. No, the article did not say sex workers. I threw that in there just to make it a little bit more juicy for you all. The outlet's report included messages, audio, and photos that allegedly show Brian Noem wearing women's clothing and using props, such as the big top plates. Those right there are chi-chi plates, okay? Excuse my background, y'all. I hope it's not too junky, y'all. Look, I've been really busy, okay? So USA Today once again has not independently confirmed any of these allegations, and we know Daily Mail is a tabloid. So, but they're saying that this is really really true. I think the Daily Mail got a good exclusive. The family, Kristy Noem's family, a spokesperson, spoke to the New York Post. A spokesperson from Kristy Noem's team and family said that the family was devastated, that she is devastated by the allegations. The quote says the family was blindsided by this and they asked for privacy and prayers at the time. And that person said that to the New York Post. The Daily Mail reported that when contacted by phone, Brian Noem did not deny sending the photos or having explicit conversations. USA Today did reach out to Kristy Noem for comment, but not immediately receive a response. So why is this issue a political issue? Okay, we're gonna stop right there. There's been whispers that with this whole war that's occurring right now, in the Middle East with Iran and things like that, this is just what I think. This is my speculation. This may not have anything to do with it. But I do know that Kash Patel was exposed for something last week or 2 weeks ago. I forgot exactly what it was. I do not have it in front of me right now. Journalist's fault, my bad. But I know Kash Patel was exposed for something that he did. And now this week we have Brian Noem, right? So there are words out on the street that whispers that essentially with all this stuff going on with Iran right now, that one way that we might be attacked is going to be through cyber attacks, right? So I know that, exposing this lady's husband is not necessarily a cyber attack, but I am noticing how these public figures and political officials are being exposed right now. Right? So I wonder who's doing it. Now, I want to ask you all, do you think that Kristy Noem knew that her man was a cross-dresser? What do you all think about that? Do you think she knew the entire time? I think she knew the entire time, right? She probably didn't want it to get out because she's embarrassed. Now, I know that this video comes across as celebrity gossip and gossiping, but typically I like to stay away from the messy stuff like this, but this is a big story right now. Everyone is gagged. I'm laughing at all of the memes. It is a hot mess. There is so much going on with this man being exposed. Also, too, they're also saying that a sex worker that he spoke with was paid $25 a minute, okay, to talk dirty to him. So there was a sex worker who was paid $25 a minute, and that is from the Times. That's not from USA Today. This is from the Times. So I don't know how true this is because I have not heard of this outlet, but the Times is saying that there are multiple photographs out right now and that, she was being paid $25 a minute to talk dirty. Okay? Yeah, they also spoke to Donald Trump about this situation. Donald Trump addressed this publicly on Wednesday and told multiple reporters, I don't know anything about it. That's too bad. But I just know nothing about it. So Trump just kept saying he doesn't know anything about this. So, this is a really funny situation. Anyways, drop down below. What were your thoughts when you heard about this situation of him wearing the chi-chi plates? Those are breastplates that drag queens wear, by the way. And it's just so interesting how drag queens are being attacked right now. Well, not really right now. It's more so trans women who are being attacked right now. But, over the years, even in 2024 to now, there was this uprising of, the far right coming after drag queens, reading books to children and things like that, and banning LGBTQ books and banning Black books and critical race theory books and Chicano studies books. And, so there's just been a lot of attacks on different groups, different minority groups in the U.S. But it's just so interesting how this lady's husband is a cross-dresser at night, a lady of the night. What did you all think about this? Sorry, I don't have glare-proof glasses here, so that's why I see the glare. Drop down below and let me know your thoughts. This topic is hilarious. Oh my goodness. Let me know your thoughts. Thank you for watching the Stark Effect TikTok edition. I am Khalif Starks. Check me out on YouTube and check me out here. Thank you.